This shore oil rig is 16 floors as high and as wide as 2 football fields and weighs surprisingly more than an aircraft carrier. This oil platform is called Appomattox, which is currently 134 kilometers off the coast of Louisiana in North America. It is located far away in the Gulf of Mexico, but its destination started a few years ago, thousands of miles away, in South Korea, where thousands of workers and engineers were busy building this oil platform. After years of hard work, when the automatics were prepared, when the engineer was hired, he had to face a challenge which he was doing for the first time in his career. The issue was that both of them had to send the structure from South Korea to the Gulf of Mexico, and for this, the world's largest marine transport vessel was ordered. Picking up the oil rig and putting it on this vessel was a task which was to take at least 7 days, but suddenly they got the news that a storm had formed in the Pacific Ocean, and this storm took the shape of a super typhoon. Typhoon of this level occurs once in 20 years. This typhoon, rotating at a speed of 315 kilometers per hour, can attack the coast of South Korea at any time in the next 7 days, and we all know this, that whenever a super typhoon attacks somewhere, it does not leave without causing damage. Now the challenge for the workers, engineers, and transport experts was that they had to do the work of 7 days in just 3 days. If it was picked up from the shipyard, loaded on this marine vessel and sent off, years of hard work could have been wasted in a matter of moments. This was an issue that shook the entire management from bottom to top. This was the biggest project of the oil platform to oil company, and that was the reason they had no room for even a small mistake in awarding the super typhoon and leaving the Appomattox ahead of time. It was very important to complete the remaining work, for which an extra army of workers was called. The workers worked day and night, and as soon as possible Agromet started preparing it for transport. On the other hand, the management along with the Meteorological Administration prepared Super Typhoon. They were keeping an eye on the movement of the Super Typhoon. They had a hope that maybe this Super Typhoon would change its direction, but their hopes were dashed when they came to know that the flashlight was heading straight from the Pacific Ocean towards South Korea. The army of workers worked hard and completed the entire automatic work within just 3 days, and now it was time to lift this unfaithful structure and place it on the floating dog. The weight of this entire structure was surprisingly said to be 41,000 tons. There was so much steel, which was not even used in the construction of Burj Khalifa. That much was installed on this oil platform. With the help of huge hydraulic jacks, it was pushed by 11 inches and was kept on plodding dried off. Then with the help of boats, the floating dog was towed away from the shipyard, from where it was to be loaded onto this Marion Way actually. This is the world's largest marine transport fashion, which can easily carry the weight of 98,000 tons, and open the app right here to see the had to go to the other corner of the world, Gulf of Mexico, the next morning, and the tips were taken off by the flirting dog. Now, the oil platform started plundering on the water for the first time. With the help of boats, the platform was pulled to marine vessel, where this marine vessel was waiting on the other side. Super Typhoon was rapidly moving towards South Korea, and a sword was hanging over the head of the management. Now Super Type Unknown was just 48 hours away, and as the book was getting closer, its signs had also started emerging in the sea. The number of winds and waves in the sea was increasing, which was a danger sign for Appomattox. If the moment was too delicate, loading the oil platform on the vessel is a very complicated task. First, the vessel enters water into the water tank inside it, due to which it goes inside the water. Then, the tuck boards pull the oil platform over the vessel, and then finally the vessel expels the water back out, due to which the Salu's life goes to the airport. But this work is not as easy as you saw in this animation. For this work, it is very important for the sea to be calm, because if this work is done in the waves, then the Appomattox will have to be placed on the correct alignment of the vessel. It will not be able to be loaded on top of the boat, and this thing can be dangerous for both the vessel and Appomattox. Due to the Super Typhoon, the sea was very rough. Due to the waves and strong winds, it was not possible to do this work. The second time went by very fast. It was very stressful, and the stress level of the entire team was very high. Luckily, due to the meteorological department, the next morning the team was given only 2 hours, in which there were chances that the sea would remain calm during these 2 hours. If this was desired, then it was possible. There would be no other chance after this. The super typhoon was now only 36 hours away. Early in the morning, as told, the sea was completely calm. At the first opportunity, the oil platform was pulled over the vessel, and the vessel took it out of the water and looted it. Several hours before the super typhoon, the Appomattox had finally succeeded in saying goodbye to South Korea. Sail had completed the first challenge tow by saving its oil platform from the super typhoon, but this does not mean that there will be no further changes. After several months of travel, the oil platform was loaded again in South Tax because there were 4 existing ones which were being manufactured here. Modus was fitted on an Ambedkar platform, and once again it was loaded on 130 kilometers away. It was sent to its destination, where it was to remain for the next 40 years. After years of hard work, finally the time had come when Appomattox had to be connected to the oil well 30,000 feet below, the place where the matrix it is lying flat in the water. The bottom of the sea here has a dip of 7,400 feet. It is so deep that almost 3 Burj Khalifas can fit in it. But the oil with which it was supposed to be connected is completely surprised even at this depth. Everything was below 22,600 feet inside. At such a depth, the pressure of water is very high, where it is impossible for any human being to go there and then carry out any mission there. Hence, on the occasions of sea, there is a romantic connection with the opening of oil in yours. It was decided to use nickel for remotely operated underwater work. The installation men were installing underwater pipelines from a separate platform. They sent the accused under the sea with the help of a crane. This is a very complicated work in which the pipeline has to be landed exactly above the opening of the oil well, 7,400 feet below. The control to carry out this work with such accuracy is also in the hands of the operator sitting above, who performs this mission like a video game. Luckily, this work was already done easily. Now it was the turn of the pipe to transfer the Appomattox Shatak from the installation platform. This process is called riser transfer, in which 4 different messages work together. Even before this, a chain was taken out from the Romantic, and the accused took this chain and took it to the other tip. This chain was pulled by another platform from this chip, and then finally this chain was pulled from the Romantic, and the pipe was taken towards itself. After this, it was started. The work of dealing was to drill the pipe to the oil, about 22,600 feet below the seabed. After several months of training, the pipe had finally reached the oil. Now it was the turn to pump the oil to see this moment. The entire team had gathered, and the oil pump was turned on with the help of a button. When the oil was pumped for the first time from 30,000 feet below, there was joy on everyone's faces. The 7 years of hard work of Works in juniors and management had paid off. The flow of oil and its quality is absolutely perfect. Today, Matrix produces 175,000 barrels of oil every day, which makes enough fuel to be used by 40 lakh vehicles in a day. Shell believes that for the next 40 years, this means that till 2016 the app will continue to produce oil like this by Appomattox. We hope that you will like and share this video of Easy's documentary also. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next great video.